G'day, welcome to session 47 of my Oxygen Not Included playthrough. Thank you for those that commented on the previous video. One thing pointed out was that possibly, I think by a few people, was that likely the reason that I'm no longer they're not sweeping things very fast, it's just there's no room to put anything away. Now there was one really interesting suggestion on how to fix that. Just while they're running about, let me read this one. So I really liked it. Sorry. So this one came from Kasnik. Instead of making another 30 storage bins, I would advise making an infinite storage. They're super basic. Pick a central area in your base, make a small hole 1 to 2 tiles deep, and place automatic dispensers on either side. Edit what can go in the dispensers and remove food and anything that can go off gas or is germy, like polluted dirt or slime. Now dupes will bring items to the dispenser which drops them in the hole. You can store infinite amount of items in one space this way. Which seemed like a really creative way to store stuff. I suppose if you made the hole too deep, it would they wouldn't be able to get it out, which would be an issue. But other than that, yeah, it's quite sound. But as a creature of habit, for now, what we'll do is we will just make a fast 3. Now, someone did point out as well that the fry eggs weigh nothing, so quite possibly if I just untick them, they'll fall out. I'm not sure that anything has fallen out there. I think that the eggs possibly grew up. I'll tick fry eggs again just so that's there as an option, but I reckon that I was just too slow and they grew up faster than I could get to them. I really don't know what's going to happen here. I assume that's just a free fall for these guys, so as the water goes down, he'll just drop straight through. I assume. Someone else also pointed out, as we're doing our list of things, that probably the liquid that goes into an oil refinery isn't water, like this dummy assumed, but it's probably more likely going to be crude oil, like it says right there. So my original idea of having that all the way down here might actually make more sense, because then it's just a pipe from here into that system. Thank you very much for pointing that out before I looked like a fool and I connected liquid water straight to that. And then liquid storage, to answer my question as well, was what I needed to store that in. So we were just sort of letting them run along before we actually do anything. The other one was just looking back at this system. Hypothesized that the issue was maybe with the sieve. So we can see that fluid is there. Or at least if we just look at this a little bit more. Fluid is there. So we've definitely got liquid making it to this guy. But then he's not doing anything. Because in theory, this should be what stopped. This would be getting dictated by this. So if there's nothing in this, these pipes should be full if this guy was operating. Why is this guy not operating, right? Because if I go to automation... which one's automation? Automation overlay. Yeah, you can see he's connecting to that. So this guy's green lighting this guy going on. So there should be things sitting in here, assuming that that guy is working. Is it just that that's not there? Where did that go? Did I delete that? So let's Has that never worked? It must have. It mustn't. It must be that what I've done is once I've built this, it's actually just sort of terminated it. See if them getting that close will allow them to sort that out. There we go. Nice work identifying that Civ was the was probably where the issue was. Okay. Now I think we've also gotten rid of too much stuff here that we actually can't get up this section. So let's, or at least if they do, they have to go the long way maybe, which would be all the way around from this side. I realize that that is a thing, that you can come in, you can go out this way and then come in another door. So is this guy just running out of suits? People going that way and then not putting their suits back where they got them from? As you can see, say Ellie's switched all the way around here, but there's no guarantee that Ellie won't just then go back in that way. See, there she goes up that way. Or I could be wrong. I shouldn't ever doubt Ellie. She's one of the good uns. So these guys haven't committed to going down this way. They've sort of decided to instead sit in the liquid that's still up there with them. This is on you now, guys. We can slowly deconstruct this, though. So if that's what's blocking them, we can at least get rid of it. Very slowly, though. Well, it's just going to be a waste of Ellie's time running up and down, I'd say. What we can also do is just go the tile, deconstruct that tile. That doesn't need to be there anymore. That hopefully will make that a little bit easier to get to. Okay, so now the important thing, this. I'm gonna go back again. So let's deconstruct that. Let's deconstruct this. Let's copy that though. And we'll put him back. I've now lost what he looks like. How do I fix that? Okay. Put him there. That guy there. Good, he was being made with gold, it's being made with copper. So his input will be crude oil. And he makes petroleum and natural gas. So if we put like an oxygen overlay, really more like a, I guess it is the, it doesn't have a, like a gas vent, so assumably it just means he's gonna just pump natural gas just out into the world. Now he's amongst carbon dioxide, and so I'm yet to know whether, I can clearly see that oxygen is lighter than natural gas. I don't know if the same is... I mean, again, it doesn't much matter out here because they're just in the... Everyone should be wearing suits where they are anyway. Now, should I, and I think I might, build a airlock somewhere down here that I can block just to stop them from alright, there's a heavy watt wire down there. That's got a heavy watt wire amongst it too. Tell you what wire is going to be everywhere, isn't it? No, it's not here. Cool. Alright, so... Now, where are you going all the way around? So you're picking up things over there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all this. Now, if he needs crude oil, then I assume that that means that I'm going to need a... got water all the way down here, so I don't really want to direct that into the where the crude oil is going to be. Maybe let's put a ladder straight down here. Actually, that's not going to be much good either, because then if any other water comes down this way, it's going to get hit by that. Let's build across this way. So if we go ladder, ladder, and then we say dig here. Then we go ladder down. And then we dig across. So I think it's this one here that we want to crack into. Based on how full that is, I assume that's going to be where there's a reservoir down there. Good to see that these are... Was that one already in? Oh, they're moving a little bit quicker now. Sorry, I have the set designations for these. Well, what I can do is just hit one of these. Hopefully that there's some sort of settings set up for those, and that'll help out. I'll start cleaning up everything, and I'm sure those will be full very, very soon. A lot of water coming down from up here. Thank you for the answer too, that what that does is it'll just make sort of cold. Now, what I'm curious about is what's even further north. Like, that's somewhere that we haven't really journeyed much beyond in these guys. Like, obviously we can see that there's some outside world parts there, but let's really start to explore up. There's some places that we can set up to sort of see what's up there, and we can just sort of continue on from our existing builds. I guess somewhere not too much into the dark, so we can at least we don't accidentally wander into a vacuum. And look who's there, front line, Ellie. Getting straight to it. No priority on those guys, they just, you have them if you're bored. Just go dig a little bit. Okay. There we go. That cable is now connected. We can deconstruct those two. And that'll start to just push a little bit more water. And I say a little bit because once that hits green, because it sees water, it'll then send a message to turn that off. And then it'll just stop, I guess, forever because no one's using this water. I mean, this water is pretty full, as is anyway, so... Yeah, I don't really know what to do with this. Like I said, I could dig down. I could say bring this down to here, and then have that drop into this little section here. But it just then means that that water would never be accessible. Possibly what I could do is just disable that, and then put a bottle thing here and a water thing here instead, and just make them send water down into this section for now. What are you doing up around here? Okay, so we've got the two of these built. They both need electricity, so let's get that going first. Now we have electricity that runs all the way to this point here, so all we should need to do is just run this wire straight down that ladder, straight down this ladder, straight down this ladder. Oh, let's make it a nice straight line. And then we'll build a few more tiles just along here. And some ladder there too. I think as well, was I building this ladder in order to get down here in a bit more of a direct route? Even if I wasn't, it sounds like a good idea now. This has become ladder building simulator. Okay. So once I've got the petroleum, this needs petroleum. So in what way would I set this up? Would this be that I have a liquid storage, liquid reservoir that sits, we'll say, there? That's an unreachable build. Assume because of suits. I really don't know what's happening with the suits at the moment. Well, there's Ellie coming with one, but she's now just going to drop it on the ground because I ordered them to think so. Let's just do another quick audit of saying, all right, we'll put suits in all those spots, and then what we're going to have to do is block this off. Put a manual airlock there, and we'll put a tile just above it. And then what we're going to do is just to make sure this gets done while I'm focusing on it. Let's give them both a priority of 9. I mean, Turner, you probably can go 8 or whatever it is that seems to be destroying you there. We also currently have 300 kilograms of plastic. So for those of you hanging out for a little bit more tube, actually we can probably cancel a few of those. We don't want to go so high that we can't reach it from our ladder. I mean, I suppose I can just build the whole thing, right? And they can just slowly make it as they get to it. The thing was that we had to work out where it was going to go at the other end. Let's cancel that one for now. So I think it was originally intending here, but Definitely won't fit there, because it needs to have that, what, 2 height. And then it can't just go straight into a turn, so it has to be at least 2 up before it goes through a wall. So it would come across here. There that I was going to put it. Like someone said, it can't U-turn, so it's got to have to... I have to think about this second position. Copy him. I just don't have the refined metal at the moment. Alright. Let's leave that as is to that point. I mean, it's going to take them a while to build that far anyway, so we may as well let them... slowly chip away at that. Though I think the funny thing is that, okay, so what we want to do is we want to... Oh, I lock... Well, actually what I can do is go... No, he's not my locked one. It's my locked one. That one. That's right, that's where we lock them. Okay, so we say lock that guy. Although that would be annoying that it'll continue to flash forever. I mean, it was pretty when it was just a white, like, sort of outline idea. If it's going to just flash at me saying, like, I'm not yet built. And they're going to build it in some really weird order as opposed to starting from where I started. And then they're going to complain that they're not connected to anything. I think there. If I can get him there, but it just means I've got to somehow work out how to get that to come through. And like someone said, you can't U-turn it, so I'm just going to have to sort of come eventually up, across, and down. I suppose it could come up across here, straight down there, and in maybe. Let's see. Going to be such a slow plastic production that that's going to irk me for the longest time that maybe I should have just built 6 pieces there. All good. Okay. Well, while they're still digging away down here, let's have a look. Nah, you know what? It is going to bother me for too long. Let's going to sit there for a very long time, so let's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's go deconstruct and just go straight down there. Take that, put it there, please. How are we looking at the top? Has anyone decided to venture? Oh, someone slowly started to chip away at that one. That was the right-hand side one, and then this one in the middle. Yeah, they're chipping away at that as well. Good to see. Oh. Now we are going to be maneuvering through different pieces of, like, vacuum there, but we might be able to get past that edge. So let's cancel that much of this. Let's just build a ladder straight up here. And then we'll dig across that way. And we'll see what we find when we get up there. Broken elevator. I wonder where it goes to. So I assume that... So this guy's going to need petroleum. He has no gas output. talk to me. What are you doing? Converts petroleum into raw plastic. And then what makes carbon dioxide? Reduces carbon dioxide. So, I mean, that's okay. It's down here in the middle of nowhere. Another reason that it's worthwhile it being down here. Now, a long, long time ago, someone said that these might pressurized, so that when I dig in, it's quite possible that they will just sort of push up and out. Which I'm not sure that I'm really prepared for here, because I don't want it to get mixed in with this water. So what we might do is, just as a little bit of a fail-safe for that potential outcome, is let's make this corridor a little bit longer, and let's just make like a little extra room here. Just want to double check. It's not, still not just Ellie that's my digger, right? I've got 2 people that can do the duper hard digging. Why is your moral need so high there, Turner? Are you okay? You people have... Didn't think that I was over pushing anyone, but really must have. Barndy, you don't really have that much going on. You digging as well. What's the person mean? Mima, would you like a hat? Looks more like something May would wear, isn't it? Although May can have a fancy little artistic hat. Give that one to Mima. She is, I suppose she is very strong. And then Stinky. Stinky can just keep being Stinky. I don't think we could ask anything more of him. Now, there are people then that do have a high level of stress, and unsurprisingly it is Turner. So, let's have a look at our schedule. Might just see... We just give him a little bit more downtime. Add a new schedule. And be a bit more in line with these guys. Go downtime. Go one before them. Go sleep then. Bath then. And then that's work. You just have an extra hour off. I don't know. We'll just see how everyone else goes. Now we have locked that door, so I don't think that anyone should be able to get through anymore. So what we're going to do now is we'll make the call to deliver suits. I think there's enough suits just laying around that every time I make a call for this, they will just sort of shift them around a bit. But it's just basically a recall point to make sure that every section has the same amount of suits, or is the amount of suits required to the doors. Being said, I should probably put a 3rd suit over here anyway. Let's copy that, put it there, deconstruct that, and then we'll put another one on that side. And let's just make sure we've got power running to its new location. Then we'll take this guy. Just wait for May. Lovely new hat, May. And we'll copy this, put it there. Then we will just check the power requirements for that. That's all good. And the ventilation requirements already connected. I think this side probably a long time ago didn't have that many people connected to it, but now it's definitely much bigger. May as well have 3 going for it. This one pop here possibly needs 3 too, but am I okay to build that close to a door? Probably. Yeah, let's just take some coal. There we go, and they lived happily ever after. Until I needed more polluted water. We just don't have any copper ore? Why does it keep saying unreachable build? Let's cancel that build. Copy it. I'll just do another one rather. I'll just put it there. Unreachable build. Just have a look as well while they're sleeping. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? We can all live a little bit happier looking at that than the other thing we had. What's that little guy? Sage hatchling. Surface breach. Whoa. Alright. So, well, this music has gotten very atmospheric. Alright, so first thing that we're going to do is we are going to declare cancel on all of this. And we will backtrack to... here. No, I suppose that's out in the open too. So we want to go... let's deconstruct that. You can see the oxygen up here is just getting sucked out. Let's declare this very, very urgent. So we'll go A number 1 priority. Get rid of that. And then we will say build that there. We will say A number 1 priority. Lovely. Okay, so now we are... the oxygen levels can rebuild. We are no longer exposed to space. So what we want to do instead is see if we can get around this way. Now I can see that there are also, say, vacuums over there, so we've probably got to be a little bit more careful than I was that time. Okay, so... there's hydrogen in there. I suppose what we can do is we can dig one this way, ladder up to there, dig across here, ladder up to let's see. They won't be able to cut through there, will they? We're gonna have to breach into one of these, so let's breach just that way. So we'll go ladder up to there. So that one. And we'll say dig this way. And we'll only go as far as we can definitely see and confirm that we're not going to go back into space. How are we looking on this side? Still just sort of digging away. We are hitting little pockets too, so we've got to be careful. At least not saying it's unreachable anymore. Well, at least that one's not unreachable. Okay, so talk me through... the end of today will be the end of this one, so... Just to double check that I've got this right, as my understanding would be that I'm going to have... I've got electricity running to these devices. So the next thing will be that I have to go and breach... I did breach it. And that did flood, so... Definitely worth building that extra room. So what I do is I go into this room and I build, say, a pump down here. Liquid pump. Down here. Or potentially what I do is I burrow even further down until I get down to the oil reservoir. Build it here. That pumps up and runs into the oil refinery. The oil refinery will then be creating natural gas as well as petroleum. The petroleum I have run into the liquid reservoir. The liquid reservoir then has a tube running from it to the polymer press and the petroleum. Is that the correct order here? Or do I even need this in this mix? I assume so, because otherwise he'll just... Well, I mean, if I'm only using him for one thing, I don't really need to make him continue production. Or can I just have the tube run from him to the polymer press, and basically it's just as long as the polymer press is being used, he'll function, and if it's not being used, he'll stop, which is fine because I'm not using him for anything else at this stage. What is my proper layout? I suppose that's the big question here. As we continue on, and I look forward to seeing what's at the very top here, as we attempt to do this a little bit more safe than what we just did. At least it alerted us nice and loud, but I very much look forward to seeing what we find in here. I wonder if I can power those broken elevators. But anything else as well that you don't like that I'm doing, or you think I should be doing, or focusing a bit more on, feel free to comment. But until next time, I'll tell you those are already full. I will see you later. Catch ya.